Hello Computernauts, my name is Andy, this is Kerbal Space Program, and today I'm going to show you how to dock in 6 simple and straightforward steps, alright? I've already put a lander, a little ship for us to dock with in orbit. I've made its orbit inclined so that we can do the full 6 steps so you don't have to, try and learn something new ever. And we have our little orbiter 2 here that we'll launch, and I'll show you just how the 6 steps work, okay? So here we are. All we gotta do is first set our target to be the lander. So in a lot of cases, you might want to fast forward time here to make the lander get pretty close to where your launch point is, your target, if you're doing a rendezvous from launch, or if you want to have a short time to rendezvous when you do get into orbit. But it's not going to really matter for this. It will help us out with time and stuff like that. Okay, so we have it set as our target, and we are about to launch, so here we go. Alright, so we know how to get to orbit. That was the last video, so I'm going to cut, and I'll see you when we are in a nice circular low Kerbin orbit. See you then. Alright, step 1 complete. We are in orbit. I've made sure it's like 82 by 83. Yeah, it's pretty circular. And we still have our target set here for our little lander 1. Alright, so step 2, we need to match our orbital inclination. We need to align our orbital plane here with our target, okay? So we're going this way, so what we want to do is say, okay, ascending node here. It's at plus 3 degrees, so we'll pull down 1.8. 0.5. Oh, there we go. Negative 0.1, okay. 0, cool. So we'll find the node. There it is. And fast forward to it. Alright. Alright, here we go. This is our little orbiter ship here. There we go. Sending node 0, sending node 0. Alright, step 2 complete. Alright, so here's our command module, what's left of Orbiter 2. And I have action groups set here for 1 to open up this docking node, and 2 will deploy these solar panels. Right. Both these crafts will be in the comments section, or the description. Okay, step 2 is complete. Now, sometimes you want to save time and do something like, if your orbit is not, if your orbital alignment is off, you can just burn at your ascending node or descending node, and that will get you an actual intercept with your target and its orbit right here. Now, it's not a rendezvous, it's just where your orbit is intercepting its orbit. Okay, so it doesn't really matter when. We're going to be behind it. It's sort of like, 180 degrees across from it. This side you're ahead of it, this side you're behind it. We're catching up to it. So we'll have a smaller orbit than it. We will continuously catch up to it, and I'll make this burn, and then I'll show you a few orbits. Okay. Now another thing I could do too is say, let's say I want to wait in orbit. Oh, I'll be a lot closer to it when I do that. So let's wait one more orbit. And then when we burn out, we'll be a lot closer to it. We'll be able to make another maneuver, another burn that will increase our orbit, slow us down so that we'll get a real nice target. We can even say, what happens if we do it one more time? See, now we're past it and we're ahead of it. Alright, so we'll fast forward until the node again. Alright, so I'm completing this burn here, and this will get our apoapsis to intersect with our target's orbit. There we go. Let's go a little bit further here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we have an intersection with our target here in its orbit, but we don't have a rendezvous. We want these two little markers here to connect with each other. Alright, so that's step 2 and 3 done. Now we have to do step 4, which is our burn for a rendezvous. Like we did before, we can wait and see how these orbits go. So let's try one more time, and we'll be right past it, okay? So what we should do is just go like this. Oh, sorry. Go back. There we go. And make our node slightly after our intercept point here, so that this way we can tell what will happen the next time we come around if we change our orbits earlier. And we'll pull just a little bit out to create that rendezvous burn. 3 kilometers. How close can we get? 2.8. Oh, getting bigger. Okay, 4.9. 4.7. 3.4 looked like 2.8 was the best we could do. 2.9, alright. So we'll find that node. Just a little 1-second burn in 18 minutes, alright? And that will complete step 4 of 6 already, almost. More than halfway done. Very simple so far. Okay, I'm adjusting it just slightly, moving it closer to the point, trying to get our rendezvous as close as possible with this burn. Alright, here's the little 1-second burn. See how that does 3.5. Good enough. Okay. What we can do is on our periapsis here, do another one of those quick burns and get that 2.5 kilometers gone. And that will really make it a little professional, but for our 6-step method, we only have to get within 5 kilometers. Don't worry about getting incredibly close with this. So let's just fast forward to our rendezvous point here. As you approach your target, you'll see that the nav ball will change your velocity vector, what it reads, from being what your actual orbital velocity is to what your relative velocity is with your target. The pink retrograde marker here is your target's orbital retrograde, and this is your relative velocity to its orbital velocity vector. Basically, you want to match these two end arrow points up with each other, and that will get you as close as possible. And you want to start trying to line them up when you're within 5 kilometers. Okay, so we're within 5 kilometers now. What we can easily do is just sort of get to a point where you're gonna push the yellow marker down onto the pink marker by burning away from it and sort of creating a line here. See that? You're sort of like walking it down towards the pink marker. And this walk is basically your canceling your relative velocity and aligning your orbits here. So you can see here we are now 1.9 kilometers is our closest point after that burn, after we've gotten ourselves a little bit closer. And we can keep doing this as we get closer and closer for the rendezvous, as step 5 is just canceling these relative velocities and getting as close as we can. Almost dead on. And you'll see it'll drift away too as we get closer and closer because our orbits aren't completely matched. We're just trying to get as close as we can. Traveling at 3.8 meters per second towards it, basically. We'll go head on here. We'll fast forward till we're about 100 meters close. And that'll be basically how we've canceled our relative velocity at the rendezvous point. That's step 5, alright? And now we're going on to step 6, the final step, maneuvering to dock. As you can see, we're still drifting away, so we'll slow this time back down, and now we'll use our RCS. We'll press R. And what we'll do is the same thing, but with RCS. So we want to press I, and we're moving our yellow vector onto our pink marker here. And then we'll press L and walk it over. It's still kind of too far away for us to kind of right click on it and find the port that we're looking for to dock to. But it looks like the lander's starting to shape up here. There we go. Traveling at 1 meter towards it. Okay, so now you can see the lander is basically in a heads down position relative to us. So what we want to do is get as close as we want. Maybe, let's say 20 meters is okay. There we go. And what we're going to do is turn off our RCS and say, there we go. We'll right click on this clampotron and that's our target, okay? So now it looks like we're still going right at it, and this is exactly what the game thinks is happening. It thinks that this clampotron is actually facing us. So what we have to do is actually face the clampotron. So what I'm going to do here is maneuver the ship, whoop, if I can get it right, there we go, to be as it will be when we're going to dock with the lander. Alright, so basically now we're in the horizontal or vertical position with it, okay? So now press that N again, we'll hold it down and we'll lower ourselves into the correct position here for it. And so remember, when you push off, like for instance we're going to the left here with the screen, you're going to want to have to slow yourself back down when you want to align. And as you can see, the purple marker is lining right back up with us, and that's exactly what we want. Now the yellow marker is saying, hey, we're still pretty much going away from this thing. So what we got to do is walk it back to right over where we want it to be, and then maneuver ourselves to go back forward towards our target. There we go, right at it. Perfect. 0.3, 0.4 meters per second. Heading right at it, okay? Everything's aligned. We are good. Okay, so now what we can do is, as we get closer and closer, with basically within about 10 meters here, we can turn off our SAS, and that will allow the magnets on each of the docking ports to sort of pull our two ships together. Okay, there we go. Turn off our SAS. And there we are, docked. Wonderful. Try it out yourself. The 6-step method's pretty easy. Obviously, there's little intricacies in when you're getting close and a little RCS maneuvering, but I think that's the fun part. It's just like your little EVA guy when you maneuver with him, left and right, forward and back, only it's with the I, J, K, and L keys. Alright, fellow Computernauts, thanks for watching. See you next time.